Welcome to After Five Radio, your favorite online radio station showcasing Zimbabweans in the diaspora. I am your host, aka the Hype Lady, Miss ThandoAmy, coming to you live on air all the way from Canada. And joining me today is the talented musical artist based in the UK. And this guy has been making a great deal of good noise, guys, on all streaming platforms since his rise to prominence in 2011, where he released Chimbo Varega. Or Chumbarega. Chumbarega. It is Chumbarega, right?
Yeah, it's Chumbarega.
Chumbarega, the single, which became a radio hit. If you haven't listened to him, then guys, better get onto the wagon, Musazo Sari Sisa, as he continues to rise. So today we say hello to Mr. McD. Don't forget no Mufunga McD Okuzima. Like the producer, I know the famous producer McD has been doing great too, but he is also he's known as confused professionally, although I don't know if he's actually really confused, but his music doesn't sound like it. Welcome. Confused, welcome on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Finally we get to sit down and talk.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, I'm always seeing your lives on Instagram. It's quite entertaining, if I should put it that way. As an entertainer, I assume music is the only way that you can entertain, but then I guess maybe the way you're doing it is entertainment as well, and we enjoy it. It's quite funny.
I'm glad you guys enjoy it. Yeah, it's all entertainment at the end of the day.
Right? That's the whole point.
I do enjoy doing those lives anyways. Whenever I'm free, I make sure that I do the lives and reconnect with everyone back home and get to talk to new people all the time and connect with my fans, friends,
Absolutely. Yeah. And that is so great. And no interview, hence the reason why we're sitting here. But thank you so much. And so just to start off, let's bring our listeners up to speed to with your upbringing, a little bit about your background, who is confused, or just opened up and are confused. Actually, who's McD? Who's McDonald?
Okay, born in 93. In Warren Park, that's where I grew up actually. And from there I started living in the avenues, like in town now. That was like around primary level up until like high school level. I went to Mount Pleasant High School. That's where I started doing music as well. So that's where we would actually sometimes skip school to go to the studio and record. I was in the same class with T Guns, the rapper, the hip hop artist. Yeah.
Really?
So we're like best friends, growing up, and we've made like a few songs together as well.
That is awesome.
Well, yeah. After that, so like back in the days, I was doing like more like urban grooves. This was like around 2009, 2010, 2008, yeah, somewhere there. Then 2011, now I started working with the dancehall producer. So he's the one that introduced me to this whole dancehall thing. His name is Gunweed, yeah. So we're signed under his label, his table called Trinidad. And from there, that's where I met Freeman. But now I feel like I'm getting into confused.
Which actually brings me to confused. So you're actually on the right path, because right now we just wanted to know like who is McDonald, right? And how you came about into the music industry, and now how did the stage name Confused come about, and now getting into your journey.
Okay, so the name Confused, like I said, back then we were doing urban grooves, but then urban grooves is more like a mixture of, anything. It could be R&B, it could be hip hop, it could be dancehall, right?
Right.
And I also figured that I could do, a little bit of everything, like back then I was actually rapping. Then I could do a bit of singing as well, and the whole dancehall thing. So I was a bit confused about why exactly I wanted to do.
Okay.
Yeah. So I just started calling it conscious fused music, conscious fused music,
Right.
confused music. Yeah. So
Really?
that's where, yeah, that's where the name came from.
Okay, but
And
before you got there, did you have a
mhm.
stage name at all, or you just used your government name? How?
Mm,
Mhm.
before I got where, because when I just started doing music, that's the name I've been using.
Okay, okay, okay.
Confused. Yeah, like I said, I
Okay.
was doing everything because it was Eben Grooves.
Mm,
So
mm,
in the song, you could be singing and rapping at the same time.
mm. But why? But why
Yeah.
the term confused? Didn't you feel some type of way? Good. Oh my gosh, people are
No,
gonna
that's what
think.
I'm saying. Like
Yeah,
I I I was confused
yeah.
about what exactly I wanted to
Wanted.
do.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So
That is.
then why I chose the name as well, I felt like it would grab a bit of attention as well. Because
Mm-hmm,
you know, when you're young, you're trying to get recognized, you know, you're trying to get out there and
mm-hmm.
you want to do whatever, you
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
to get people to talk about you and everything. So for me,
Exactly.
it really worked because just like you're asking right now, why the name confused?
Mm-hmm.
So everyone who had that name would be asking the same thing, like who would call themselves confused?
Even when I started listening to your music, when you
Yeah.
sang with Hody 10, that's when I started knowing you, Georgina.
Oh, okay.
So
Oh,
then I was
okay.
like, who calls themselves confused? Like, how confused
I
is
know.
this
Yeah, yeah.
person?
That's what. But then, like, obviously, after that, people now get curious to see who the person is
Is,
and
yeah.
if they're really confused as they claim to be.
Right,
So yeah.
but I guess
Mhm.
not. You're so talented, and we appreciate your work. We appreciate your art. We love it, to be honest, and we're always playing it on After Five Radio, just so you know. And that's how I ended up getting to know you because we get to showcase Zimbabweans in the diaspora as well as other Zimbabweans back home. Go to
Mhm.
upcoming and rising. So yeah, that's how I got to know you, and it's
Mhm.
lovely to even listen to your music, especially you know, and I'm confused, and then Tongo Sparko, Jungo Dara, Jungo.
Yeah,
So yeah,
yeah,
so I understand, like you've mentioned already, good Johnny, you've been in the game, you've been in the industry game for quite a bit now.
yeah.
When did you discover your passion for music other than like Kuchkoro, right? But then Kuzoti, okay, I think this is my love, or what brought about that passion?
Well, I think it's just, you know, like growing up,
Mm-hmm,
you'll be listening to music and
mm-hmm,
you're watching these music videos and they
mm-hmm,
become sort of like an inspiration. Like myself, I grew up listening to like Anna Michael Jackson, Bob
mm-hmm,
Marley,
mm-hmm,
UB40, them guys.
mm-hmm,
But mainly like Michael Jackson, I can say is the one that really inspired me. Like, you know, when
mm-hmm,
I was still young, like
mm-hmm.
at a very young age. I remember I used to dance and, you know, doing like, I did one of my videos of Michael Jackson, like I would really go crazy about that. And I would
I
imagine
love.
myself, you know, on stage, you know, just
Really?
being him. Because I remember he started as well. He started singing like when he was young.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm,
Yeah, like I would watch those videos, you know, like his documentaries when they'll be showing that, you know, he actually started singing when he was young. So that was
mm-hmm,
like an inspiration
mm-hmm,
to me.
mm-hmm,
And I don't even remember at what age that was, but
mm-hmm.
was it was yeah, at a young age. I think probably even before primary school, child. Oh
Wow.
yeah. But
So,
then like because of Ramachitera music,
mm-hmm.
like I think primary school you're like that's when we would listen to Anaroki.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah, my
And now you get to
Anamaskiri.
perform now.
Yeah, now I get to perform and even sing with them
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Oh,
So so yeah, and that's where the passion came from.
Oh, that is
really.
awesome. And I bet Michael Jackson has inspired a whole lot of artists, not even just artists, even dancers or
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
anybody in the industry, right? In
Yeah,
the
in the
arts
entertainment.
industry, in the
Yeah.
entertainment industry. And it's so phenomenal. And may his soul continue to rest in peace. Such a talented fella. So who helped you get your music recognized or recognizable or to that next level? Because kind of you know how when you start you're like, oh wow, you know, this is my passion, this is what I love, and then goes to somebody who say, oh damn, this kid is good. Look at Asha with what's his name, Bieber and stuff like that. How did you get your music
Mm-hmm.
to be recognized?
Okay, to be honest, if I say it's one person, I'll be lying. I've got a list of people. Like the guy that I mentioned earlier on, the producer, Anand Ganwid.
Okay.
I can say one of the guys Wakayanso Nishikisapa like in like a whole new different level from Chirigandiri when I started this whole thing. So like back then Taita Maridims, that's when like Sim Danzo, Pengesha Munyaso Bakutanga. So we would have like people like DJ Smiley. He played a role. Then there's someone called DJ Styra as well. They were doing mixtapes. Someone called DJ Gary B. Um, all those guys, you know, like they were doing a lot, like for not just for me, but like other artists as well. Like back in the days, I'm talking about 2011-ish, around that time. So yeah, I think Ndola and Wagayaso Pusha music, but then couldn't go and this one also recognize where it was Freeman. Like I did the first song I did with Freeman. That's the song I get out in the banda blow because Danda because he had this Join a City song around those days. So you know, singing with someone at one song in a like it will piece in a you know a hit song also made people like give me a bit of like respect as well around that time. And yeah,
So talk about the fact here, go to the moment that you were getting recognized. How did that feel? Did you not feel overwhelmed in a sense, Yaguti, fear of success? Because some people have this whole thing, oh, I want to be this, I want to be that. And then when it comes to their face, they're like, oh my gosh, what do I do with this? And then goes to seize the moment. Go with that. So express your feeling when you started getting recognized then. What oh my gosh, what can I do with it?
Well, time yo obviously it was a bit overwhelming considering Kuti I was already starting to get like my shows, my bookings, but I didn't really have like enough like material. Like you know, my songs I go perform, you know, like you've got one hit song and that's about it. Then you get booked to a show, but then you don't really have. And to be honest, that time again, that's not confidence even to like perform. And
What?
yeah, performing and recording like two different things.
Oh, absolutely.
Performing, yeah. So it was a bit because performing for a crowd, you see, like my songs, Eguti, and they've got one song, you know, it
Yeah.
was such a good, yeah. But
And
then
trying
so
to
that's a
make
button.
people love you too, right? As an
Yeah,
individual,
exactly.
because your persona is the one that gravitates like my artist towards your music. Could you, who is this person? Damn, you know, because we're not going to stage performance. Vasinga going in the
Yeah,
beats. And some people know the
yeah.
beats, but they don't know stage performance.
Yeah, and Nini as well. And Nini, my challenge was, I mean, like people ain't going to go on the stereotype in terms of, I don't know if I should say my appearance or the way I look, because most people would say, I'm salad,
Salad.
so when I'm on stage, I'm get to I'm second
Yeah.
Terry sign it. That's what I read an essay first. I read a panel type of thing. But with time, people
Yeah.
accepted because oh, you know, they got used to it because I kept pushing for that. Most people would be like, why are you not doing hip hop and Doyako? You look like
Exactly.
a hip hop artist.
Artist. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But
actually,
then,
which brings me, Kune, something that you said that was so profound to the listeners or to anybody looking to pursue any dream. Kuti,
yeah.
this is always preached, or even it's always on social media. Could we always have to be prepared? You understand? It's like now you blew up when you least expected it, but then on going one song and you're trying to figure out, oh my gosh, I need to make more beats and whatever. And the pressure that comes with that, how were you able to figure out, okay, now I need to release? Who writes your music? Who does your production? Like, is it writing, if I should put it that way?
Well, I did have songs, to be honest, but most of my songs were in like Ndaimba English songs, right? But then and I struggle kuti. I'm trying to perform like for my ghetto youths, you know. But my songs are actually chirungu, whereas taita mapasa pasa and it my ghetto like them my street basha. But zvimwe zvacho zvaisatoimbika ikoko because competition yacho yekuti munhu ari kuimba chirungu nemunhu ari kuimba shona, it was a bit of a challenge, yeah, like so.
But why is it that though? Why is it that we also had a guy, what's his name? I got to Daryl, the artist as well, who's always saying, guys, he sings English music. Actually, can you support us or whatever? What's the challenge with that though? Why did you have to change kuti okay ndikuimbira mageto youth so zvichirungu zvinoti not kunetsei, but you know, pulling the crowd was kind of
okay, speaking for myself, I would say time iyoyo ngoma rainyasonzi ngoma, masongs ainyasotenderera ainga ari eshona, ainyasopewa attention to. I don't know, like I think it was just people's preference, to be honest. But nowadays, if you really listen to my music, I tend to mix like English and Shona in my music, because ndakazona way kuchibalancisa, you know, like so that I cater for everyone. It's not everyone and Faron's or my Shona songs completely, because some people are not even Shona, but they want to listen to the songs, and you know. But then time I think zvaitongetongeka trend okay kuti mashona songs like ndo aitongonge ari achidominata, so so well, as for Anoningana, like the artist you just mentioned, well, I think though is strength, yeah, I guess, but I don't think there's any problem with that. And well, if he does his things well, he will find like a fan base. Yeah, again, more accept artist. I don't believe with the language when it comes to music. Language, I see, shouldn't be a barrier.
Look at the late Dr. Oliver Mtukudzi. He was international in Shona.
Yeah.
Well, he mixed eventually, so, I guess. Yeah.
He did mix, but majority of his songs were in Shona. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh my God, that is so hilarious. So at the beginning of your career, where you were talking about Muruchoro, and then you decide, okay, this is what I love, this is what I'm gonna or maybe gonna do. I don't know, maybe you were just doing it for fun. When you decided to eventually tap into it, like full on, you know, how was your support system? Because remember, we come from a country where you have to be a doctor, lawyer, a nurse, or whatever profession. Jemangoma vema gitari is what they would say, right? Kuti ungade munhu wemagitari kana kuti ungade kuita zvemagitari, mabebi zvonzi ungade munhu wemagitari, vanhu vacho vemagitari uda kuita zvemagitari. How was your support system when it came to family? Of course, friends can support, but family no.
Yeah, family. Okay. The thing is, in Inangwa, kura like and not kura more like a strict family.
Okay.
Yeah, both my parents, I can't say they were strict. Because obviously there's a garana moms, so my mom, obviously vaitozvinhu to a certain extent yekuti she wasn't that strict zvekutoti tinenge chitoatyla like that, you know, she's someone who's free um and you know ndingangoti very calm about things, so she was supportive. Mudhara ndiye ngane a bit of like he didn't really support the idea of me doing music and me becoming a musician. He just felt like she knows she not pay type of thing. Because obviously, like when you're starting, people don't really know good because you know fananizwa ne chirombe type of thing, like mtongo kurasika and all. Because obviously every parent wants their kid or their child to be kutanga chita zvemabhuku, you know, like so arts people don't really see it kunge zvinounza mari. Maybe now now it has become a thing because most of my youths are actually making money out of it, and you know things have changed, but back in the days zvinenge zvichingoonekwa kunge munhu asiri serious in life.
And thank God for social media.
Thank God for social media and other, you know, like my developments akazongoitiko, you know, more life. But yeah, my mom was supportive. My dad wakazoshi accept, and yeah, he's been supportive as well.
Oh, nice. So is it safe to say this is now your bread and butter, or it is still like your side hustle to a certain extent?
Well, I think I can say a bit of both because as much as I do music, because pane time yekuti zvinenge zvisiri kuunza anything.
Absolutely.
Yeah, so
okay.
Yeah.
Okay, no, that is so awesome. And we now have 10 minutes. So if anything, how have you differentiated yourself? This is an industry that is so competitive. Music, entertainment on its own, acting, music, whatever you name it. So how have you differentiated yourself in the industry that is becoming more and more populated?
Well, I think I've just so I found myself like all these years I was doing my experiments and all, but with that also came experience. I kind of know what I want. I kind of know I'm making music. I'm no longer just making music for the fun of it or for no reason. We don't go to maybe tangonzi studio kune beat or there's a producer doshanda near. I passed that stage. So by doing that, as well as I've managed to achieve because now I know what I want. Can you end up a microphone? It's serious business. It's no longer my trials or anything. I'd rather not do a song if I'm not sure about it. And if it's a music video, I would rather not shoot a music video than I'm really sure it's worth to shoot it or not. So that's that's how I work and operate these days.
Which brings me to an interesting question.
Okay.
Based on your social media. I watch your lives. I watch your social media lives. But there's a moment that you actually, I think that's the same time that we got booking for this interview, and Paida was on there. Paida, the one in Atlanta. And now that you've mentioned Kudi, you don't just go in the studio for the sake of going in the studio, because you know who you are, you know what you want, you know what you want to go for. So with the likes of, would that be the reason why when Paida asked for collaboration, you know, with a collaboration and you're like, okay, in debate 2 or 3 more songs.
Not even hit songs, but just songs like so that Tinokwansa ku establish okay, this person is actually
serious,
a musician. You know, because anyone can just do a
one
song today. We're not even talking about hits. We're just talking about making music. I feel like anyone can sing. Your voice and one song going by, it could be Discord or whatever. But yeah, you could sing and you could actually have my fans as well. Music is funny, like in a formula. people can fall in love with your discord, and the world will be surprised with what's going on. So music and a formula. Yeah. Do not shamisika like why people have those I don't see those are idols, another voice and whatnot. Because I feel like there's people that get like 10 down machines that are good, right? Then there's people are not gonna but so it's also debatable kuti you know. But at the end of the day, like majority of people that make it on those shows never really do much music wise if you're to look at it. Just a few.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So
unoona kuti vanhu vanotora second place ndo vanozoblowa up anenge ari pa-first place. You never
or even
hear
muna
of.
atongobuda kuma-stages ekutanga chaiwo. Yeah. So like because I feel like music ini ndogono ngichiteta ma-discord kana ma-off-kika, but I could also have one on 24 you see. That's how I look at music.
That is so true though.
The stadium Discord as well. So I don't think there's anyone really who can come and say awugone kuimba.
Exactly.
But maybe I can say I don't like your music, or you know, maybe I should say it for myself, but I now but not kungoti awugone kuimba, because I believe, you know, but that's what I believe.
And actually I'm not I actually agree with you. Even Ngoni Kate, Ngoni Kambarami, you also mentioned the same thing. Everybody can sing. It's just you understand? It's as good as somebody when they start acting or getting on screen or whatever. We know what you can tell, but then at the same time, the more they keep pushing, well, I guess acting would be different though, because acting you can actually see, but the more they keep pushing, they perfect their art, and before you know it, they're now great, you know. But anyway, since we're now running kind of out of time, just what advice would you give? What advice do you have that you wish somebody had given you prior to getting into the music industry? That yes, you're in it, you're enjoying music.
Well, advice and like, oh, you mean like that someone would have given me that I want to give to someone else?
Yeah. But had you known this before?
Well, I think there's someone I can do about patience back then, or if I actually believed in it, because there's certain things that I used to do, or there's certain times when I used to feel like, oh, am I ever gonna be heard? You know, like connecting to my doubts. So, but then like things just changed. I think for the past since 2019 up until now, my career just yagango change as well. But then looking at like back then, like when Ndugu Tower 2011, 2012, 2013. Yes, Taizikano and whatnot, but you'd always see people that were like on top, and you'd be thinking, Chashika Werok and stuff like that. Shikapa in a stage, you'd be thinking, with Nzukunyanyo sabotage and all. But then now, like it's something that I could actually give this advice to someone right now, but it might not really make sense to them, if you know what I mean.
Absolutely, especially the younger generation.
Might not make sense to them, but then that's one thing that ndagato witness on okay, so patience actually pays.
Absolutely.
And, because in like I said, ndagatanga 2008, then 2009, 2011 blowaga, but now this is like 2022. That's like 11 years after. You see. And right now, Ndopanduto also top like
exactly
ever in my career. So yeah,
we love that. And just so for those who are listening who tuned in, I was all confused with the internet. Do you mind sharing your social handles from Instagram to especially YouTube? Because that's where your music is. And then of course to everybody else, good music, you find it on all streaming platforms. So you mind sharing your social handles?
Okay, confused, QOUNFUZED, said W, that's for Instagram, then confused official for YouTube, confused, said W again for Twitter. I think confused in Dururani, that's for Facebook.
Ndururani, oh my gosh, I like that.
Yeah,
Do you think that
yeah.
you ever changed the Ndururani part of it? It's again a little Bow Wow, Little Wayne. Well, Little Wayne is still Little Wayne, but Little Bow Wow
Not
is now
really,
just Bow Wow.
not really. Because I feel like Ndururan is actually a part of like my
You
lifestyle. Like, yeah,
nice.
that's me. Like if you spend the day with me or if you spend time with me, if you get to
Yeah,
know me,
yeah,
there's that element of Undururani in my character and personality. So I don't think there's a need. I don't even see a need, or I'm not even embarrassed about it because I feel like that's me. That's my
nice.
trademark. And yeah, you can't take that, and no one can take that away from me, unfortunately.
Nice.
Yeah.
No, that is so awesome. And thank you so much for being a part of After Five Radio. It was a pleasure and an honor to get to know you. And right now, we're now left with less than a minute. I do not know if you have anything you want to say to your fans before it just cuts off.
I just want to say thank you very much for supporting. Can keep supporting. I'm gonna bring like new songs. I promise to keep releasing new songs and new bangers till I don't know till
Absolutely. And we shall be supporting.